Good evening, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be unto you. That peace that goes beyond all understanding. Want you to forgive me for having to get myself together and to seemingly be disheveled tonight. But it's a very, very serious issue that you and I deal with. Very serious. And this issue that we're dealing with, this issue, is all too familiar to the Black family. You and I, brothers and sisters, are victims of one of the most heinous crimes ever committed before humanity. The problems of racism, the problem of xenophobia, and the problems of agoraphobia as we face a society physically in fear. And many of the times you can't see the fear on our faces, but we face this society in fear. And there is so much. It's so layered, the struggle that we go through as Black people. And I say that because I know that no other race goes through the struggle that you and I go through. So no other race goes through this. And you and I go through this because we were brought to a land, or rather brought to a land and bought by others in the land of Africa, in the land of our ancestors, the land of Kemet, areas of Sudan, areas of North, West, East, and South Africa, and sold as items in the market, brothers and sisters. So when you think about Black Friday, I want you to understand that your Black Friday, 24/7, your Black Friday, because that man sold you and created behind it an analogy. Now, not just the white man. It's not just the white man that was guilty of this system of racism and segregation. But there's an international racism going on. And because the seed was planted so well, you can hardly see which way to turn. Because the seed was planted well. So that means, and I want you to understand this, when I say seed, I'm talking about the intent. When you plant a seed, you have the intentions of that seed growing up into a plant or vegetation that will feed you to produce other plants with other seeds. So organically, you have expectations. Whether you plant a physical seed or a spiritual seed or sociological seed or physiological seed or biological seed, you have expectations of what that seed should bring. And I'm sort of building the structure because I want you to understand how a man could get away with murder. And I want you to understand this, that Rick Chow, you heard the term, how to get away with murder? Rick Chow got away with murder. Rick Chow got away with murder. And we've been organizing to make sure we keep it before the conscience of America. Now, everybody did their job to catch and incarcerate this man except the jury. We have to discuss that. We have to discuss that because until we have the discussions, until we deal with it, the problem isn't going anywhere until we deal with it. You and I have to deal with it. Now, the jurors, made up of many, especially the black jurors, because I don't understand this. I mean, everybody in town knew that the man should be rotting in jail. Everybody knew it. But the black jurors, and I have to ask myself, I've got to ask, what is going through the mind of individuals, I have to say it this way, that will not take a firm stand when they sin? I mean, black individuals will not take a firm stand once they've seen, is that right or wrong? Once they've seen what's going on, yet will not take a stand, will not take a stand because they're hoping that they will be accepted by this system, this racist American system. And it is racist. Now, in saying that, the international visitors who desire naturalization has began to mimic a long history of what we dealt with under the oppressive white regime. Does that mean that every white is racist? I feel I have to say this because I know it's somebody saying, well, brother, all are not racist. This has nothing to do with the white man. The devil that killed our brother was a yellow man. The man that killed our brother was a yellow devil whose son possibly did it. But you had two yellow devils beating up on a black angel. Two yellow devils that sought to do this evil. And we have to talk about this. This is not going to be right. It's not going to be fine. It's not going away. Not going to get any better until you and I make it better. We've got to make it better, brothers and sisters. You and I have to make it better. So when we pray as Muslims, we pray to the beneficent, the merciful, master of the day of requital. Thee do we serve, and thee do we serve alone. Guide us on the right path. Why? Because it's so easy to get on the wrong path. It's that easy to get on the wrong path. It's so easy when we get emotional. And the black man and black woman on this planet have earned every right to be emotional. Every right, because this is happening at such an alarming rate until it almost makes the black race numb. And that's the challenge. We can't get numb to what happened to our little brother, Cyrus. We can't get numb. We must create justice. If they don't give us justice, then we have to create it. But Chow must be found, brought to the people's court. Now, I know they have a civil case coming up too, But we'll have to distribute the pain economically. We don't care if he bought that store. Another person, quote unquote, bought it. We don't care. We don't care. We're not going to support the store. We're not going to do anything to make that business successful. We believe that it should be closed. And I want to go over these points with you. I want to go over these points. Now, first thing is this. We've got several points, right, that we want to make. Case, whatever you want to call it, that we want to make, right? It's going to be very sweet, short and sweet, because we're demonstrating tonight and we're pulling people in. We ask you to come out of town, wherever you are. Come on in. We're making arrangements. We want you all to come on in, help us with this situation, because we know that it's not going to get any better until we make it better. All right? So that's the first thing. We've got to become active. We've got to become active and more proactive. That's the first thing. Now, what are we asking? What is in our, what are we trying to do? First thing that we need to do, very first thing that we need to do is we have to organize, regardless of this not being his store. We don't care. We don't care. We have to organize. Still got to organize. Okay? We want to organize so that this store is closed because Chow still makes profit from it. That's the first reason. Secondly, we want to organize to change this store to a monument. It used to be a monument to honor our brother. And there needs to be a law created, right? Must be a law created in honor of our brother to make sure, and this is the third point, to make sure that any individual or public official needs to be held accountable for shooting anyone in the back, front, if they're retreating or if they're in retreat, or a visible non-threat with or without an unconcealed weapon. The law that we're going to create, the law shall be entitled the Cyrus Carmack Belton Law. We feel that we can best honor him by creating a law to guarantee that this never happens to any child or adult again. Fourth thing is this: we must boycott all Asian stores, all Asian and Arab stores in our community. This will encourage brothers and sisters in our community to open their own stores. They will open African American nail shops, African American eyelash shops, open African American hair, weave, and beauty supply stores, right? So we need to start doing this ourselves. We need to start doing this ourselves. All right. So we've got work to do, and we need to pull individuals from out of town. We welcome you. If you're out of town and you want to come help us, we welcome you, because we need your help. We need your help. We need your help. So we welcome you to come and help us get justice for our young brother. We need justice for our young brother. There's no other way. There's no other way. The yellow man is racist. You know that. And every race that come here because of the system of racism, and I just want to explain this to you because I know it's true. Because of the system of racism, because of it, every race that comes to this nation want to mimic the white man, even some Africans. Even some Africans desire to do this. Some Africans desire to do this. And you have to know, see, this must be told. The story must be told. And even some of them desire to do this, hoping that they can get into good graces. Hoping, and I'm just talking to you tonight. I thought I'd talk to you. Normally I come charged, but we have to have an intellectual talk about racism and what it truly is, the spirit of racism and what it truly is, and the spirit of racism. Many Asians and many others that come here desire to prove themselves to this white man. This is what they desire to do. Be what the white man expects, hoping that the white man will let them in. Praying and hoping. And they're always selling out the black brothers and sisters that are around them. They're always attacking our children. Something is done. Now, I hear people saying now, well, all are not racist. I know that all are not racist. I understand that. But if you had a billion bees, and I told you that there was a million bees in the middle of those billion bees that don't have a stinger, may not have a stinger, brothers and sisters, you'll be out of your mind. You will literally be out of your mind searching which bee that doesn't have a stinger. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's hopeless. It's hopeless if you're going to listen to every exception that you've been conditioned to listen to. And we have to look at exactly what's going on. Excuse me, brothers and sisters, I know you understand. We have to look at what's going on. The police did their job. We can't take that away. The court system, court officials did their job. We can't take that away. The prosecutor did his job. We can't take that away. We can't take it away. It's a clear cut, no ifs, ands, and buts about it. They did their job. But we got to the jurors. We have to discuss this. When there are black people that feel that they're an exception to the rule and are made to feel sympathetic, you can't trust that. Now, we all have something to say. All of us have something to say. Me, you, all of us. We have something to say. However, and we all make contributions. But it's not an all or nothing deal. I think there's a little bit here and a little bit there that we need to grab and need to step back from this picture so we can get a bird's eye view of the entire portrait. And life is like that. Here's a young man that was killed. This is plain cut and dry. This young man was killed. You can't hide that. There's nothing you can say about that, right? Nothing. We understand it. And we can never give that life back. We can't bring that life back, brothers and sisters. We may want to, but we can't bring it back. We don't have the power to give life, so we shouldn't have the power to take a life. Now, also, I don't believe, and I may be wrong, I'm just researching the story and all of that. I may be wrong, but I don't believe that Chow, the old man, killed him. I think the young son killed him. That's just me personally, right? And there are some people that are saying right now, oh, I knew he was going to get to that. Well, it's true. There's no way, when you look at the genetic makeup of that man, there's no way that man could have ran down that child and did the number on him that was done. No, this is somebody that was able to run with him. This is somebody that was able to run with him. And what I'm telling you today is this: our children are in danger, and we shouldn't allow them to go anywhere where we're not familiar with them. Anywhere where we're not familiar with their presence, we shouldn't allow it. We absolutely shouldn't allow it, because our children are in danger indeed. They're in danger. And you know something? And here's the thing. We've come a long ways, and I think that people, regardless of color, are starting to see it, but we still have a long fight. We have a long fight. We have a long way to go. And don't get mad at brothers and sisters like me that's going to point out the truth. That's fine. The truth has to be pointed out. Don't get mad at me for pointing the truth out, brothers and sisters. But let's be thankful for the reception of the exception. And when we see something oh so clear that we can all agree on, let's work toward that. Let's work toward making this law a reality. Let's look at making this law a reality. So when our children look back, those that are fortunate enough to live, those that are fortunate enough to have not been killed, when they look back, they're able to see that we've done the work, we are committed, and we will do this until we die. How many will give their life to the movement? I will. And I'm talking about giving my life to it, to live a long time, fighting it tooth and nail. Fighting it tooth and nail. Because it's going to have to be with blood, sweat, and tears. Is that right or wrong? And some self-defense to back that up. Because we are in danger. We're in danger. We got to watch our children. The spirit of racism is all over this case. Let me say this. I must say this. Sheriff Lott and the officers did their job. They locked that man up. They did their job. Right? The court system did their job. But when you get to the jury, racism is so heavily ingrained that you got black sellouts and coons that will agree with people they know are racist to just go along to get along. And this is the stuff that we have to stop. We have to stop it. These things would be over overnight if we keep standing up. The answer is to keep standing up. The answer is to keep pointing out wrong. That don't mean that you hate anybody. That don't mean that you can't have your so-called white friend or your quote-unquote white friend. That's not what it means, right? Right? It's not what it means. You can have that. You can have that, right? That's your choice. Nobody's ridiculing you for that, but just because you make that choice don't mean that someone else don't have an opinion. We've been dealing with that our whole lives. Is that right or wrong? As black people, we've been dealing with that our whole lives, and we'll accept anyone in our community. Come on, brothers and sisters, you know that. You know that I'm right. We'll accept anybody in our community. That's not a problem. We'll do that. It's not a problem. We'll accept anybody in our community. But will anyone accept us in theirs? And they continue to kill us. Now, I want you to understand the trend that's happening. Understand this trend. We have more outsiders attacking us. Now it is growing. This is a growing phenomenon, growing fad. We have so many outsiders attacking us, attacking our children. Is that right or wrong? Why? Because they want to prove themselves to a system that is familiar in past and present with this global effect of racism, or this, I should say, global display of racism, right? Because all eyes on America, all the eyes on America, so they can see, or we can see that they would do anything to get over here to mimic the old days. So it makes foreigners, right, when they're trying to prove themselves, more aggressive to interrupt and interloop a changing system to what it was to try to. But you look at America, and America is getting away. It has no choice. It's getting away from this racism. It is changing. It is changing from this racism. But these foreigners want to keep it going to prove themselves to the white man, and the black man has always been a pawn. Our children have always been a pawn. You think they didn't have Africans in slavery in Asia, Indonesia, China? Brothers, they had they owned slaves, they owned Africans in those areas too. Globally, the slave trade was a global thing with the Asians, with the Europeans, with the Arabs, right? With all of these nations, with all of these nations. So we must not find it strange that the Asian would display this kind of racism, right? And distrust among a brother who's innocent. Why? Because he's living in America, where they glorify racism. We have a man in the White House right now, one of the most racist people on this planet, and his own people is telling him, listen, it's time out for that. And he will fire them at the drop of a hat, right? It's almost like a live version of The Apprentice. He fired people, hire them and fire them right away. Just drunk with power. And I'm speaking of yours truly. You know what I'm talking about. In the highest office in the nation. It's a shame, but still pushing the hate rhetoric, still pushing the racist rhetoric. You will not survive. None of us will ever survive another push of racism like they had in the 60s and the 40s and the 30s. We won't. We won't survive. We won't survive it, because I don't know who's talking to these people, but if they pay close attention, there's a change. You know how when it's about to rain, excuse me, brothers and sisters, I know you understand. When it's about to rain and you can see the clouds coming together, the clouds are massing and billowing, right? Like they're almost rolling. You say, man, it's going to be an amazing rain and storm. Why? You can see it in the skies. In our mental skies, I see changes happening in the Black community, where the Black community is becoming more and more aggressive. More and more aggressive. I see it. Just as plain as day. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. I know you understand. I see it from day to day. And there's no way I could just sit back and be quiet and do nothing. When somebody's baby was shot, I have a little baby. I call them little, they're big, but I call them little. I have children I care about. They're adults that I care about. I got brothers and sisters that I care about, nieces and nephews that I care about. I care about them. I care about my friends, right? I got friends that are dear to me, family that is dear to me, many working as professionals, right? That are dear to me. Their lives could be taken. I have family friends whose lives could be taken any minute. I have children whose lives could be taken any minute. And the black man has to think of all of this. We can't think of just one. We got to think of all of this. What will happen if? And we make preparation. But something is happening though, because if you look, because of our fear, because of what's happening to us, you get much more of an aggression. How many more must die? How many more must die? Brothers and sisters, we need you. We need you to come out of state. Many of you I've talked to in about 6 different states. Push your weight, come in, and let's correctly operate. Correctly operate. And our disgust is not with the police. Our disgust is not with Richland County. Our disgust is not with the court system, because they did their job. But we must question the jury. And it's with bitter and great regret that those jurors had the opportunity to do this. And with many of them being black, right, white, and a Mexican, brown man, and the decision that had to be made, and the decision that was made. I think the problem happened with the jurors. I think the ball was dropped there. This was a clear case of murder. And the prosecution did a great job. Couldn't have a better job. They said a young man had a gun. He didn't have a gun. You couldn't find it. They said that the old man shot him. I don't believe it. I think the young man ran up on him and shot him. I think he wanted to kill a black person, because a lot of the other races that come to America want to assimilate. The Asians are some of the worst ones. They want to assimilate. They don't want to be Asian. They want to be white. And they want to assimilate. Is that right or wrong? You got some Mexicans that want to assimilate too. And guess what? You got some blacks, sellout blacks, Uncle Tom and Aunt Bessie blacks, Aunt Jemimas, that want to sell out. And these are the kind of people that you had on the courtroom. Not in the courtroom, you had on the jury, right? You had these people on the jury. So I want you to look at this. Listen, the county police did their job. Sheriff Lott did his job, right or wrong. We can't deny that. Can't deny that, right? The court system, what did they do? They did their job. The prosecution, they did their job. They did a great job. Great job. But when you got to the jurors, racism and the history of racism in South Carolina and in America and in the atmosphere, both mentally, physically, and otherwise, is so strong that these coons, well, I gotta say it like that, right? Because I know what a coon is. I know what the term is. I mean, those that huddle around scuttlebutt, trash. When it comes to human being, this is what you're saying. A coon is someone who huddles around scuttlebutt, meaningless stuff, constantly trying to prove yourself. You gather together on trash stuff that is of no substance, not gonna do anything for you. In this case, trying to win the privilege of white folks, which is impossible, right? Which is impossible. So you have coons on the jury that's gonna eat whatever's there, except whatever trash that comes. Our young brother was killed. This was trashy. This was trashy. But they didn't think about this young man. They didn't think about him even being a young black male. Think about him being a young black male. You got crackers When I say that, I'm talking about the whip. When we say cracker, we know historically the cracker is the one that cracked the whip when he was beating a slave or taming a shrew. He's called a cracker because he would crack the whip on the backs, right, of the rebellious slaves because he was committed to the system of racism. Now, there were jurors, white jurors, that were committed to the system of racism so much so that they were willing to let that man go, right, who had killed a young boy, him and his son. You can't leave his son out. Chow's son, you can't leave him. And I believe he was the one that really did the killing, personally. He talking about he don't remember and all that. You did it. You did the killing. I think Chow's son was the one that actually did the killing. So him and Chow are complicit. His mom should have been locked up too. She's messing with evidence. They're trying to lock him in the store and lied on him. This young boy ain't stole nothing. Cyrus didn't steal anything, but they wanted to kill a black man. That's what I'm trying to get you to see. Now we have to open our eyes to this international man that's attacking us. Oh yes, we have to open our eyes to the international man that is attacking us. And these jurors had no feeling, none whatsoever, for this young child that had gotten killed. For what? He didn't do any wrong. He hadn't stolen anything. The only thing he did feel was uncomfortability and wanted to just get out of there. You ever been in some of these Asian and Arab stores and they just follow you around? They just following you around. They don't know why, but they just following you. And you just, it make you lose the taste in your mouth. He put the water back because he got sick of just being harassed. Got sick of it. He tried to leave. They held him hostage. That's enough right there. Detaining him like they're police. Who does that sound like? Who does that sound like? Who are they trying to mimic? If not the white racist history. And the right racist history in this family, right? In South Carolina, in Georgia, in Louisiana, right? You name the state, South or North, DC, you name it. Feeling the, what do you call it? Entitled. Feeling entitled. Feeling entitled to act out white privilege, which is the reward of racism, right? America was built on racism. America was built on slavery. And they don't want to see that go. This ain't nothing new. The Asian man is racist. He's racist against you. He's racist against you. This isn't anything new. But to come here and try to copy something that America's trying to get away from, then what did they do? They brought back a lot of bitter memories. And then because they're proud of what he did, the jurors, right? Then the crackers on the jury, I understand, I said crackers. This is the one that cracks the whip. They're going to crack this whip on this dead child that was no longer with us. They're constantly cracking the whip on him, making him evil, lying on him. He had a gun. This is somebody's baby, 13, 14-year-old baby. And there are many whites in Colombia who did not agree. There are many whites that do not agree with the verdict. They're angry about it. Many blacks that are angry about this verdict, they don't agree. Many brown people that are angry about this verdict, they don't agree. Red people angry about this verdict, they don't agree. Even yellow people that are angry about this verdict and don't agree. But this yellow devil that killed this young black angel, they gave him the verdict of not guilty. And it plants the wrong kind of seeds because you are planting the seeds of violence that will grow up into the seeds of violence. Right? Then a wise man once said that violence will beget violence. Is that right or wrong? And they killed him. They said they hung him on a cross, but they hung him on a tree. Same way they're hanging you and I today. Same way they're shooting us down today, they're killing us. Every day is a story. It's always something. Always something. So, brothers and sisters, and I use this word, I'm reaching out to those who have a conscience. I'm reaching out to those who have a conscience. Brothers and sisters, this goes beyond race. This is going beyond race. When I say this, brothers and sisters, we have to wake up. We have to activate. We have to see this through. We have to see this through. And Rick Chow must pay some price for what his son did. I believe his son killed young Cyrus. I believe that with all my heart. With all my heart, I believe it. And something has to be done. It has to be done. So I want to thank you for sharing this time with me and those that will hear it, that haven't heard it. I want to thank you for this. And my desire, my prayer is that we will continue to work together and get this done. Here's something that all people, right? All the power to all the people. Here's something that all people can see is wrong. Something's wrong with this. Something's very, very wrong with the decision that the jury gave. But we know it was embedded in racism. Embedded in racism. From people who have so much self-hate that they want to be white. And from white racists that have so much hate for the black man that they won't allow justice to roll down like waters and righteousness as a mighty stream. They won't allow justice to arrive. Even when they know what the truth is, they'll deny it. So we got to keep working. Reaching out to Atlanta, Georgia, reaching out to the state of Georgia, reaching out to Florida, reaching out to Virginia, those brothers and sisters we have there, the organizations, we're ready. You need to come in, show that support. Many of you have already made it in from Colorado. Reaching out to North Carolina, and I'm reaching within to South Carolina and the cities we have there. All y'all need to come on down. Orangeburg, Newberry, Spartanburg. Y'all need to come on down and tell somebody. Asheville, come on down and tell somebody. The next child should be yours. It may be yours. It could be yours. But we don't want that. Let's make this law. Don't forget that on June the 19th, we'll be going to the Capitol, on the steps of the Capitol. And we have the parent speaking there. Parents will be speaking there. And we're going to keep this before the nation. We invite all other states to come in. Shout out to California. We thank you for showing presence tonight. Shout out to New York and Washington, D.C. How about that, D.C.? We appreciate you. Appreciate Chicago. We appreciate Detroit. We appreciate Arkansas and Tennessee. We appreciate Alabama. Thank you all for reaching out. Thank you all for helping and sending support. And we look forward to seeing you all and working this until we can get it into the state capitol to make it a law that we don't have to worry about any child or adult being shot in the back or front, right, while retreating, right? Whether they have a concealed weapon or no weapon, if they're retreating There's no need to shoot. But we understand that our brothers and sisters can't even have weapons now. Is that right or wrong? Because had this young man had a weapon, they lied. It don't matter whether he got a weapon or not, because they lied and say he had a weapon. We know he didn't. We know he didn't. But you're creating, and here's what's dangerous. They're creating a climate where you'll start having a bunch of revolt. And we don't want this. We shouldn't want this in America. We've been walking through this so long. We should be sick of it. But to let an Asian come here and start that kind of trouble, to put me against you and you against me, I have to wonder what is really going on. What is really going on? Is this China's way of turning us against one another? I have to wonder. I have to wonder what's going on. And you need to be wondering what's going on. Well, brothers and sisters, I appreciate the time you've given me. And if you have any fear in you, I wish all the fear in you taken out so that you can stand up and stand strong in situations like this, right? Because this is what we do standing up that what defined us, huh? We don't want to be defined as sitting down, right? Useless, but standing up and being useful. I want to thank you, brothers and sisters, for this time, and those of you that will hear it, that haven't heard it. I appreciate all that you do and all the work that you've done, all the work that you will do. And I pray safety to your families and the power and will of God Allah to protect them. And I pray that you are enlightened in these days. Enlightened to do the will of God, to do God's will, not the will of man. That is my desire. That is my prayer. And I ask that you love one another. Love your children. Guide them, teach them, protect them. I don't think any parents should go out. A lot of children go out too far away from them. They're not there. I don't think they should be allowed because our children are in danger. So I don't think they should be allowed. Don't let your woman go off, your wife, by themselves. You should be able to chaperone her. She's in danger, black man, black woman. Love one another. Love your children. For this is right in the Lord. Is that right or wrong? Right? And if I didn't say it to you in the beginning, I say to you now, Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be unto you. That peace that goes beyond all understanding. That peace that goes beyond all understanding. Peace be unto you.